Hey! So they finally rented that place, huh? Been about 2 years. Sure hope that slumlord changed the carpet. It was so stink over there, I could taste it over here. Oh, by the way, I love what you did with those little milk crates. That little table you made. What's that, Art Deco? Yeah, you look at me rattling on and on like you know who I am. Hi, girl, I'm Bonita Betrell. I've been here all my life. I know everybody in this neighborhood. Yeah, girl, there's some fine people in this neighborhood. There's a lot of trash, too. But I ain't one to gossip. Hey, there goes Mavis and her kids. Mavis! Hey, I see you got the whole gang out there today, huh? Them kids look like a pack of rag buffers. You gotta wrap them up in newspaper to take them to Sunday school. You see that little one down there? That little one? No, the one down there with the snot in his nose. That's my little godson, Chucky. Hey, Chucky! Hey, Chuckster! Hey, Chucky, what you do? You gonna give your godmother a kiss? Mwah! That's a little crack addict in the making there. Honey, I'm telling you, all them kids do is beg. Give me, loan me, can you spare? Every time you turn around, and neither one of them would ever say, here, dog, here's a bone. Now, the mama, every time I open my door, she's hanging out there with a cup. She needs some flour. She needs some bread. She needs some eggs. She needs to take her ass to the supermarket. That's what she needs. Girl, I just don't understand people like that. See, because I'm trying to better myself. That's right. I'm enrolled in the Robert Fionn School of Beauty and the Ace Truck Driving School. So I'm going to have something, you see. Hey! There go my homegirl, Gretchen. Hey, Gretchen! Hey, girl! I'm scared of you. You look good. Love what you did with your hair. Shake it, but don't break it. But if you do, save chocolate piece.
Shalom, shalom, Israel. Welcome, welcome to another Savory Sunday. You know what it is, but we get it in. I'm Brother Ananias for A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel. Yes, it's a Savory Sunday, where we do what? Break down God's commandments and give our brothers and sisters a little more knowledge on the commandments than they had yesterday. So, before we get started, like always, like every morning, like all of us should be doing, we got to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God of Israel for waking us up, for allowing us to be together on this call, for allowing us to get this knowledge tonight. So, Lord willing, you're edified by the end of it. But, tonight we're going to break down one commandment which got to deal with something that plagues our community, which is gossiping, talebearing, Let's get the commandment. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 16. And it reads, Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. So the Lord is saying we should not go up and down as a talebearer amongst our people. Let's find out what a talebearer is. What is a talebearer? Let's bring it up. The definition of talebearer. A talebearer, a person who maliciously gossips or reveals secrets. That's simple. We just never heard of it as a talebearer growing up. You might have heard different words like tattletale. What's another word for it? Just a gossiper. Somebody that spreads your business, always in somebody's business. Somebody that's messy. You know what I'm talking about, Israel. It ain't hard to find. It's all around our neighborhoods. It's in our households, talebearers. But the Lord said what? Leviticus 19 and 16, Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. And to go with that, that's where they get that phrase or that saying, snitches get stitches. That's what it means by that. by standing against the blood of thy neighbor. You knowing what's going on, but you ain't speaking on it because you scared, you spooked and paranoid, but the Lord is against that thing. But from there, let's go to Proverbs 11 and 13. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 13. And it reads, a talebearer. So the Lord is talking about talebearing or gossiping throughout the scriptures. And we're going to bring it out tonight to show you that he is against it. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 13. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Exactly. A talebearer going to run up and down the street soon as he hear anything, ready to gossip, ready to spread some news on it. Unfortunately, that's one of the sins that plague our females more than likely, more often than the males, but it plagues our communities all the same, Can't wait to get any little bit of information to run with it and gossip, But it says, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. A brother that understands what's going on, he knows that, why would I be out there spreading brothers and sisters' business all over the street? How is that going to benefit? How is that going to help that brother or sister? And likewise, it's going to create more chaos from me spreading their business than anything else. So a smart brother, a wise brother, I know better than that. But from there, let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 5 and 13. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 13. Give me a second. And it reads, and withal they learn to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers also, and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. You see that? This in this chapter, or in these first couple verses, is actually talking about widows. But what are they doing? Going from house to house, gossiping, just like the woman in the video at the very beginning of this class. Gossiping about everybody on the street. That's also a trait known to be instilled in the older community. After they done retire, they sit at home, they peeking behind the blinds. Hey, did you see that? So-and-so got a new car. Hey, did you see that? He had a girl spend the night last night. I don't know about that. Something wrong with that. Psst, 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 psst. So on and so on. Busybodies. Speaking things they ought not, because they don't know what the hell going on, for one. But let's keep going. Let's go to Exodus chapter 23 and 7. It's going to be a short class, but we're going to get it in nonetheless. Exodus chapter 23. Let me get there. Exodus chapter 23, verse 7. And it reads, keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and the righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. So the Lord is saying, keep thee far from a false matter. You see something happening down the street, or think you know what's going on down the street, and you trying to run that to somebody else, run that to the next person, The Lord said, keep away from a false matter. Why? He said, so that they don't slay you or you get slayed. A lot of brothers and sisters love to run people's business and then get caught up and shot, stabbed, ran off the road, poison, whatever the case may be. And folks asking, well, what happened? Why did that happen? Being nosy, being a talebearer, gossiping, running their mouth when they should keep their mouth closed, But let's go to let's go to James 4 and 17. Back to the New Testament, giving you references in the Old and in the New, letting you know that they go hand in hand. So the Lord is talking about talebearing today, gossiping. A lot of our women gossip. And today, in this generation, now it's more so the man. Because the women raising the men to be feminine, and they growing up and they gossiping worse than the women. It's pitiful, But it is what it is. We got to talk about it. We got to bring it out. Let me get the book of James right quick, if I can get to it. Chapter 4, verse 17. And it reads, therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. You know, that's the same thing what we was talking about earlier as well. When you are trying to withhold information that's pertinent to a situation. Somebody got shot, you scared, you don't want to say nothing, you withholding that information. Somebody that broke in this person's house, you know exactly who it is, but you holding back because you scared, you're paranoid, or you don't want to let the proper folks know what the hell happened. That's only until it happened to you. Then you want to go preaching to the world. You want to get on news cameras. You want the whole world to stop and drop and roll for you. But when it's happening to the other individuals, you got a closed mouth. The Lord said, when you don't do that, let me read it one more time. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. You see the brothers and sisters getting ready to break in that person's house. Don't suffer sin upon them. Warn them. Tell them not to do it. And then if they do it, let them know, hey, who did what? Don't be trying to withhold that information and then turn around and want somebody to do the opposite when it comes to you, when it happens to you. Because guess what? It's going to happen to you. When you trying to withhold that information, you're going to get caught up with it just as you're going to get caught up with it as well. Put it that way. Couldn't even find the words I'm looking for. But I don't abide by what they call that snitching mess or whatever. I stay to my own. I deal with my own business. I deal with what I can. But if I see you getting ready to break into something, hey, bro, cut that out, man. You know what that's going to lead to. I'm going to warn my brother so I don't suffer sin upon him. You know, you trying to go rob some, hey, brother, that ain't what you need to do, man. These days, our people are cowards. They won't even say, excuse me, or how by these days, let alone trying to warn or tell a brother or sister where she going off. Cowards. But the Lord commands us to do so. If not, it's sin. And what's sin? What's the reward of sin? Death. So you're going to get that regardless. But moving on, let's go to Proverbs 26 and 20. Proverbs 26 and 20. Let's see what we got here. Proverbs 26 and verse 20. And it reads, where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. You see how the Most High put that so poetically. He said, where no wood is, there the fire goeth out, because the fire need wood to burn, you know. But he said, so where there is no talebearer, no strife cease. The strife cease. So when you ain't got a talebearer running around telling business, that strife is going to cease. Your secrets are not being put out in the street. Your business is not being put out in the street to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Therefore, everybody don't know what you're doing. You see that? The fire is going out. It goeth out. Pay attention to that. Keep that in mind. From now, let's go to Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 11, verse 10. If the Lord keep repeating itself, saying and giving you context clues about certain issues, it must be important or something that plagues our community. And it's giving you the remedy on how to fix it. So let's go to Sirach, chapter 11, verse 10. And it reads, my son, meddle not with many matters. You know, that was one of the phrases that we used to say a lot as children growing up. Stop meddling. Stop meddling in folks' business. All you do is meddle. I always wonder where that word came from, but it wasn't until I came into the truth that I actually seen that it actually up and down throughout the scriptures. How coincidental is that? But I'm going to read it again. This is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 10, and it reads, my son, meddle not with many matters, for if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. You see that? And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape by fleeing. The Lord saying, when you got your face, your nose in somebody else's business, you're no longer innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain, neither shalt thou escape. So you got your nose so far from my ass, excuse my language, all in their business, trying to figure out whatever move they trying to make, whatever they trying to do. And if they decide to do something wicked or evil, guess what? You right along with it. You just as guilty by association, you know. But the Lord is telling you, don't be meddling in many matters. You know. From there, let's go to Proverbs 26 and 17. Go back to Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 17. Let's see what the Lord say there. He said, he that passeth by and meddleth, you see, once again, meddling in other folks' business, and meddle with strife belonging not to him, is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. Now, I don't know if many of you have ever had a dog in your life or even dealt with a dog. But what happens when you grab a dog by his ear? He's trying to bite the hell out of you. He's trying to bite the hell out of you. So the Lord is telling you, when you meddling in folks' business, you gonna get bit. Somebody gonna snap back at you. You're going to get bit. Point blank, period. It's only a matter of time. So what should you be doing? Minding your own business. It's that simple. Let's stay in Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs 20 and 19 right quick. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 19. And it reads, he that goeth about as a talebearer, once again, talking about talebearing, gossiping, running your mouth, meddling in folks' business. Let me read it again. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 19. And it reads, he that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore, meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. The Lord saying, if you know an individual like that, don't deal with him. Don't deal with him. Me, myself, I don't deal with it. You know, I don't entertain that conversation. I'll shut the hell up so they know I'm not interested, or I'll change the subject. You know, that's how you're supposed to handle it. Because if an individual feels that they can keep coming to you like that, or you should be asking yourself, why do they feel comfortable coming to you gossiping about somebody else? Should nobody feel comfortable coming to you gossiping? You should shut that down immediately so that they would think twice about at least coming to you with it. Shut it down immediately. Stop gossiping. Stop talebearing. You know, get to the root of the problem, but stop talebearing. You know, from there, let's go to 2 Chronicles. I'm going to give you an example out of the scripture as to what happened when you talebear. You know, let's go to 2 Chronicles, or when you meddle in folks' business. 2 Chronicles chapter 35. 2 Chronicles chapter 35. Where we at? 2 Chronicles chapter 35, verse 19. And I'm going to read that to 27. And it reads, in the 18th year of the reign of Josiah was the Passover kept. After all this, when Josiah had prepared the temple, Necho, king of Egypt, came up to fight against Carmish by Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him. But he sent ambassadors to him, saying, what have I to do with thee, thou king of Judah? I come not against thee this day, but against the house wherewith I have war. For God commanded me to make haste, forbear thee from meddling with God who is with me, that he destroy thee not. Nevertheless, Josiah would not turn his face from him, but disguised himself, that he might fight with him, and hearken not unto the words of Necho from the mouth of God, and came to fight in the valley of Megiddo. So you got a brother that who was king at the time, see two other kings or two other people getting ready to go to war, and he run out there like he's some type of savior. The man tell him, hey man, what you doing out here, man? I ain't got no beef with you. This is not your problem. Go back to what you was doing. The Lord is dealing with me. He told me to go up against. So this brother want to do what he want to do. He goes so far as to disguise himself. Disguise himself. Ain't no different than that woman disguising herself or hiding or peeking through them blinds. He disguised himself, and he did not hearken. Verse 23, and the archers shot at King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, have me away, for I am sore wounded. So he didn't disguise himself and went out there to battle and got hurt. His servants therefore took him out of that chariot and put him into the second chariot that he had, and they brought him into Jerusalem. And he died and was buried in one of the sepulchres of his fathers. And all Judah and Jerusalem mourned for Josiah. You see that? That's a perfect example of what happens when you meddle in other folks' business. This brother, he just got through keeping the Passover. Relax, rejoice. You want to go out there and be a Billy Badass. You want to go so far as to go disguise yourself on the battlefield and then get hit with an arrow by the archers. And they taking you back to Jerusalem where you should have been in the first place. Now you die on the way back. Now you dead. Think about that. Perfect example of meddling in other folks' business. That's why the Lord put that in there for a testimony, to show you. Stay in your own lane. Mind your own business. You know? Besides, gossiping on another level, how you looking at people in a totally different lens than you would have if you would have never heard the gossip. You know, you hear a certain thing about people you've never even met. They come walking down the street or walking down the hall or whatever the case. People start gossiping. Oh, here comes someone. Start doing this. All of a sudden, you getting a mindset about these individuals you've never even spoken to or met before in your life. Now your mind is changed. You are already fixated on how you're going to think about this person. All because of gossip. But if you don't entertain that, you don't have to worry about that. If you have a mindset built up on, I don't deal in gossip, then you'll cut that short and you'll deal on your own accord, according to them people or to that person. You're not going to just run off of word of mouth, you know? But let's go to Proverbs 4 and 5 right quick. Proverbs is a book of wisdom. That's what we've been dealing in. So let's go back to Proverbs before I close it out. Like I said, it's not going to be a long class, but it's something just to give you some edification to help steer you in the right direction in your lives, to help make it better, make it easier for you. It's Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5, and it reads, "Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee." Now, the brother Josiah, he didn't learn from that. He didn't understand the concept of not meddling in other folks' business. So he didn't have that wisdom at that particular time. He didn't adhere to it, so it didn't preserve him because he didn't want to keep the commandments. He didn't want to do what the Lord said. What happened? He was killed. What's the wages of sin? Death. He broke God's commandment, and what happened? He ended up dead. How many brothers and sisters in our community end up dead from putting their nose in other folks' business? You know, we all guilty of it, but the Lord wink at their ignorance. Now you know if you're watching this video. Stop meddling in folks' business. Stop running around telling secrets, concealing or revealing secrets. Stay to your own. If anything, help to build your brothers and sisters up rather than trying to spread their business or talk bad about them or backbiting or murmuring. You know, try your best to find a solution. You know what the problem is. Try your best to find a solution to sharpen your brothers and sisters, to build them up, to push them forward, to show them greatness. Be that example, be that light. And on that note, I hope that you learned something. I'm Brother Ananias from A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel. And I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God through the strength and guidance of his Son, Christ. And I say shalom.